Hey, it's Ruby. Welcome to today's super dreary, dark video. It can't be helped. Ever since winter started, every day is like dark and dreary, and today there's so much fog, so the sun's like not even peeking out a teeny bit. But I really wanted to film this because I've been cleaning. I've just been in the mood to like organize, clean, which you would think with the weather I'd be like curled up in bed reading a book, but I'm not. I want to clean. So I redid my shelves like maybe 2 weeks ago, so they're freshly done, but there's already some messes going on. But the objective for today, I want to create a little zone, which I already cleared off some space over there, which I'll show you, don't worry. I already cleared some space, and that's going to be my junk shelf. Now, the books that go over there are not necessarily junk. That's just what I'm calling it. But I'm going to be putting books over there where I think that I might not love them after reading them, or I will like them, but I'm able to part with them. Just books that might not make the move to California with me. I don't know timelines or anything, or if it's even happening, but I'm 90% sure that I will be moving to California. I just don't know when. But the idea that I have is that it's going to be sometime in the summer. So I really want to get through a lot of my physical TBR between now and June, because I want to be listing these books on Pengo to sell them, just because I really can't travel with like 300 books. I can, but it's just going to be ridiculous. So yeah. We're going to go through probably just this middle shelf, because the two on the side I'm pretty happy with. I don't think that I'm going to part ways with any of them. And then maybe afterwards I can do like a bookshelf tour. You can see what I have. You can see what I've read and what I haven't. But I think that might be a separate video, because I don't want this one to be like super long. And let's be real, I can talk. So let's go ahead and just go through the shelves. I think we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. And we'll just sift through the books and see which ones are going to go to the junk shelf and which ones are going to stay here, and then we'll redo them. So as I said, we're pretty much going to be focusing on this middle shelf. And if you can see, everything's pretty much okay until you get to the top. I have just been stuffing books there, and it's obviously ridiculous. Like, I need to be able to access the books behind there. So that's why we're going to go through these. So as I said, let's start at the bottom. Okay, so the very bottom shelf, we have what I call my vampire shelf. So the very bottom shelf is just pretty much a nostalgic shelf. These are books that I read when I was really young, and I love them. So I don't think that I'm going to part with them. The nostalgia is real with these. The only two newer additions are All of Us Villains and All of Our Demise. So I think we're going to pull those two, and they're going to go to the shelf. And yeah, I don't even know what these are about, so I think that I need to move them to that shelf in the hopes that I'm gonna give them a shot and read them, and we'll rearrange afterwards. So the next shelf up is just a little random collection of hardcovers. We have some that I read when I was younger. We have some that I have not read at all. So one thing to note is I'm literally waiting on USPS to drop off a book outlet order. Guys, I promise this is the last one, and then I'm on a no buy because I really need to stop buying books. There's only 6 books in there, which you're probably gonna see because I'm pretty sure they're gonna come before I stop filming this. So I'll show you. But one of those is Foxglove, which is book 2 in the Belladonna series. So we'll be including that. And then the other one is I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Gleanings, which is a set of novellas that is part of the Scythe trilogy. So those will get shelved here, but I know that there are some that are going to move to the junk shelf. So first of all, we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Honestly, I just think I might be a little too old for this. However, I don't know, because I haven't read them. So that is why they're moving over there, so that I can make it a priority to read them. And then I'm also going to move the trilogy, the Simon Snow trilogy that goes kind of along with these. So those will be the first ones moving. And then, if I'm being real, also the Hazelwood and the Night Country. These I've been wanting to unhaul them forever, but I never did because I was like, well, what if they're good? But I don't know. I haven't heard really people talk about this, so I'm gonna move it to the junk shelf. And I think we're good for here. Yeah, we're good. Let's move on up. Okay, so moving up one shelf, we have the taller hardcovers. These are pretty tall. And in case you haven't noticed, I am the type of person that likes to shelve things based on height. I'm really weird about it. It just really bothers me when things are not the same height. But I can do that right now because I don't know how many books I have, but I don't think it's more than 300. We're like a little under there. So I can do that right now, but if I grow my collection, then that's probably not going to be that feasible. For now, I can do it though. So here, I'm not sure. I think the first ones that are going to go to the junk shelf are the Jennifer Saint books, Atalanta, Electra, and Ariadne. So after I read Circe by Madeline Miller, it just made me question if I'm going to be enjoying these Greek reimaginings. So these will be the first three. And then I think that I want to include my Fairy Loot books minus Immortal Longings, because even if I hate Immortal Longings, I'm keeping it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But these two, I think we can go ahead and include over there because I feel like people would want these editions, like in case I don't really like the story. Not everybody has access to Fairy Loot, so yeah, and they are very pretty. It's just I need to read them. Part of me really wants to include these Taylor Jenkins Reid books because I have not read any of them. I attempted to read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and I got bored. I was listening to the audiobook and I got bored, so I stopped it, but I'm going to keep them here because I don't want to rush myself with these. So if I don't get to them, they will be making the move with me to California. So yeah, and now we're gonna skip the next two shelves and just go straight to the top, straight to the problem area. And I think I'm just gonna kind of fast forward through that because it's gonna be a mess. But don't worry, I'll show you everything afterwards. So these are all the books that I pulled from the shelf for now. I'm gonna go ahead and move them over to my junk shelf area, and then we'll kind of go through everything. So this is where my shelves and my desk are, and if you pan over to the opposite side, that is where my books are gonna be living now, right on top. So I'm gonna try and organize them so that I can have a full view of everything. And here's just like my cubby system, just a bunch of cubbies. I have shipping supplies for the stuff that I sell, paper, and then like the stuff that I'm selling in that cubby with my scale, and then a TikTok tripod. But yeah, I'm gonna try and set everything up here. Let's hope that everything fits and that I can see everything, because I just don't have anywhere else to put them. Okay, so we are pretty much done with the books that are gonna go over here. It's a pretty good amount of books. I didn't count. Let me see. There are 45 books here, and I did put some in my selling shelf because I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna end up selling them. I'll show you, but I don't intend to get rid of all of these. The reason I'm putting them here is because I need to prioritize them. So that's why they're here. Hopefully I can focus on these and not so much on the ones over there, because, you know, as I said, I feel like these I won't enjoy as much as those. And I do want to read the Shadowhunter books also, but it's just so many books. Like, there's no way that I can read them all by June. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to focus as much as I can on these, and then let me show you the rest, because I don't know if you can tell over here. So there are the rest. Like I said, I might not get rid of them all. I'm just putting them over here so that I know, hey, you need to focus on these. At least choose 5 of these per month kind of deal. So my package has yet to grace us with its presence. It was supposed to get delivered 2 hours ago, but now it says till 5 and it's 2:44. So when I get those books, I'll shelve them up over here. And then when I show you the bookshelf tour, you can see them and I'll talk about them. But I have a couple of books here that I already know I'm unhauling, and I'm going to be listing them on my Pango. I think I have like 8 books on Pango right now, but I'll be listing like until June. So first up, we have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick, which is not a bad book. I gave it 4 stars, but I am almost done with the second one, the end of this duology, and I think it's going to be 4 stars too. And honestly, like, it's 4 stars because I think they're good books. They're just not for me. The pacing is something that's just not for me. Like, it's a little too slow for my liking. So I tend to be that girl that I have books to be little trophies. I don't actually read my books. I read them on ebook typically. because I don't like to damage them. I don't like for them to like have any wear on them, which I know is ridiculous, but it is my struggle. So yeah, this is literally brand new, and I just really thought that I was gonna love them, so that's why I purchased it, because I was like, oh, I'm for sure gonna love them. But again, 4 stars, but I'll be passing on because I know somebody will like this. So that's the first one. And then Archer's Voice, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna list this. I do have Grayson's Vow over there, but honestly, they're just not books that I think I want to keep. Archer's Voice, I did read it. I think I gave it like 3 stars. It was okay, but it wasn't anything that I want to hold on to or that I would reread. So I know this book is beloved by so many people, so I think it'll be good to pass it along to somebody that's really gonna enjoy it. And then we have a thriller. We have Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulik. And this book is really cool because it really does have pictures. And yeah, like I really like it. I really like the concept of the book. But I already read it, and I am someone who does not tend to reread a thriller. I feel like once you read it, you read it, and there's not much to it afterwards. So even though this is brand spanking new, and again, for this one I listened to the audiobook, so I did not actually read the physical book, I'm gonna pass it along because I'm just never gonna reread it. And I thought it was interesting up till the very end. I didn't really like the twist that they did, but I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna reread it, so I'm gonna part ways with that one. And then this one I have not read, but I am gonna read it before I pass it on. But it is A Long Game by Ellen Armas. Now, even if I love this book, which is, again, it is literally in great condition, but even if I love this book, I will get it in paperback because this is hardcover, which usually I'm a hardcover girl, but I've come to the conclusion that I like to have all my fantasies in hardcover, specifically the series in hardcover, and I guess just fantasy as a whole. With every other genre, it's undecided. But one thing that I do know is that with like romance, I want them to be paperback. I don't know why that is. I think it's because I don't really read series, like romance series. I read just standalones. And for my standalones, I prefer them in paperback. But for my romance specifically, I want them in paperback. So I do have The Spanish Love Deception coming in because I told you I want to know why everybody hates it, because when I read it, I don't remember hating it. So when they deliver that, it's going to be in paperback. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to read this and then pass it along. And if I end up loving it, which is probably not going to happen, but who knows, maybe I love it, I'll pick up the paperback so that it matches The Spanish Love Deception, because I am that kind of girl where like all my Emily Henrys I wish were paperback, but now I have Happy Place, which is hardcover, and they don't even make it in the US paperback. So yeah, I just really like them. Like all the Ali Hazelwoods are paperback. I like to keep it that way. So yeah, those are the ones that I'll probably be listing pretty soon. And then, as I said, I'll be adding to it as we go, as we get closer. Hopefully by May, whatever I list, I sell, because then I'm going to have to start packing and all that. But who knows? I don't know the timeline. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed spending time with me today as we went through the shelves and we kind of weeded out books. Wish me luck to get through all those. I am such a Libby and Hoopla girl. Like, I'm about to cancel Kindle Unlimited because I feel like I don't really use it. Even though there are some books that are on there that I want to read, I can just get them on Libby though. Like the Carissa Broadband Daughter of No Worlds books I want to read, but I can just put them on hold on Libby. So I'm going to get rid of Kindle Unlimited. But Libby and Hoopla have become something that I use so much. So yeah, here's to hoping that I can stick to reading a book deciding if I want to buy it or not before I purchase them, except for new releases. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed spending time with me today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next with a bookshelf tour. Bye.